Hi everyone, thank you so much for tuning in on the podcast Honestly. Before we get right into this episode, I just want to remind you all that you can find this podcast on Apple Pods, Spotify, and Castbox as well. If you have any suggestions as to where else we can put this podcast, please reach out to me on my Twitter or Instagram. And if you'd like to be a guest on the Honestly podcast, kindly fill in the form in the show note. And here's what we have for you coming up on this episode.
The time we had gone out on a date, this was our very first date, and I did not appreciate the way he was speaking to the waitress. And then I told him, I was like, I don't think that's okay. And he's like, no, what? You know how people can be, and you know the thing with human nature is eventually your true self
comes out.
And I remember thinking to myself, okay, this is your first date and he's treating you all nice, but fast forward down the road, he's going to be speaking to you exactly the way he's speaking to that waitress. And lo and behold,
No sooner.
Lo and behold, it was my turn. And the thing is, I never used to take it. That's the thing.
Hi, my name is Monjoy, and welcome to Ohnestly, a podcast about the unfiltered human experience. Each episode features stories from everyday people, capturing the gut-wrenching, hilarious, completely unhinged, and everything in between. On this podcast, we share the moments that have shaped who we are and changed how we see the world, or have just made us laugh. So join us as we listen to honest stories from honest strangers.
Hi everyone, my name is Pamela Monde, and thank you so much for being supporters of the podcast Honestly and tuning in once again to another very interesting episode. Today's episode is very sensitive, I believe, but it's very, very important for us to listen to something like this, to stories like this, because we never know how we relate or how easily we can fall into the same situation. Our guest today opened up about a relationship that slowly turned abusive while she didn't notice it at the time. And she's going to share with us how she found herself eventually and what assisted her in realizing the situation she was in and how she's been able to reclaim her sense of peace and self. So allow me to introduce our guest Angela today. Hi Angela.
Hi Pamela.
How are you feeling?
I feel good. I feel honored to be here.
Thank you. Thank you for trusting us with your honest story today. So maybe you could start from the very beginning. Since your story is centered around this relationship, perhaps you could share with us how did it start? What drew you to your partner in the first place? Tell us the beginning,
So
the
the beginning is
roses,
the tea.
yeah, the tea, piping hot, please.
Okay, so I would like to keep it short and sweet. My partner and I met at a public event, and he was a friend of friends, but he wasn't exact. He was someone I knew, but not someone I knew like that. So yeah, we met at a very those public casual Kampala events, and then we started talking. So we got to know each other better via talking and WhatsApp and text and all those things. Those talking stages for people before you actually eventually grew into a fully fledged relationship. Actually, at the time, I wasn't ready for a relationship. By the time I met him and by the time he met me, he had also just gotten out of a relationship. So it took us a year to actually say that, okay,
Wow.
right? That, okay, you know what? Let's take this thing to the next level. And I honestly was in no rush because yeah.
We get you.
Yeah, but that's really it. Like they weren't like, but what I could say is that this was my first good guy. I was watching a podcast recently and someone was saying that everyone has their first good guy, the person who treats you well, who understands you. And when I met this person, for the first time in my life, I felt like I was worthy of being with such a person. And I can't imagine thinking that low of myself.
At this time now.
I'm like, what?
But you didn't know.
Yeah, like I didn't know better. And but to a certain extent, I felt like this person was doing me a favor to find me attractive and to be with me. And yet that not the case, honey. Actually, it's the other way around. Anyway, that's basic of my opinion. But yeah, that's how it happened. Anyway, that was the beginning. Yeah.
Okay. And then so how did it turn from this loving undeserving love that you described into this what the hell is going on kind of situation? Like
I would say the signs were always there, but also I feel like upbringing plays a very huge role in how we experience and how we view relationships. I have been raised to be tolerant of people. So before you give someone the benefit of the doubt, before I cast you out and say, oh, this person is such a bad person, how about I try to understand where you're coming from? And by the time I met this person, they were going through a really difficult season in their lives. It was a season of grief for them. I believe they had lost maybe a close person to them, a person who they really valued and cherished. And I was trying as much as possible to put myself in their shoes. And on at certain instances, I remember there is a time we had gone out on a date. This was our very first date. And I did not appreciate the way he was speaking to the waitress. And then I told him, I was like, I don't think that's okay. And it's like, no, what? You know how people can be. And you know, the thing with human nature is eventually your true self does come out.
it comes out.
And I remember thinking to myself, okay, this is your first date and he's treating you all nice. But fast forward down the road, he's going to be speaking to you exactly the way he's speaking to that waitress. And lo and behold,
No sooner.
Lo and behold, it was my turn. And the thing is, I never used to take it. That's the thing. It's not like as if I would take it sitting down. I would talk back. I'd be like, oh, okay. So you decided to shout at me. Okay, let's shout. Or I'd be like, whenever you feel like you're ready to have a mature conversation, please reach out. But I honestly don't see why you're speaking to me like this. And then he would say things like, but you've not even experienced the full extent of my anger. I'd be like, hey.
That is a dangerous statement.
Okay. This is interesting. But that's a very bad place to be. For you to feel like someone is really, because I would feel like he's really, really angry. And then he would be telling me that, oh,
that's the tip of the
this is the tip of the iceberg, honey. Like, this is not it. This is not the full package. And for me, in certain aspects, the whole entire time, as a result of that, in the relationship, I think I was more in love with the idea of being in a relationship than actually with the person. Because on several occasions, people would ask me, are you happy? And I would have to think about it. And people would ask me, do you love him? And I would still have to think about it. Maya Angelou said that love is many things, but it's never not sure. If someone asks you if you love your mom, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah,
it's a no-brainer. Yeah, it's a no-brainer. Like, the fact that you have to sit down, think about it, ponder, and really assess whether that's what you're feeling. For me, it was always a red flag, like
check yourself, sweetie.
Yeah, check yourself. Yeah,
check the relationship.
Yeah, but like of course, being the resilient, not like in my day-to-day life, I'm a very resilient person. Like, if I give up on something, it's because it has failed, because I haven't tried. So I stayed hoping that things would get better. But there is a friend of mine who used to tell me love is supposed to be enjoyed, not endured.
True.
And I remember when I had just gotten out of the relationship, I had a running joke with a friend of mine. And I used to be like, bestie, you are in love. Like,
I'm dying. The award goes to...
It used to be so funny. And at that time, I was really, really in a bad place. But like, that's what would like keep me going, because it was just the funniest thing ever. But how do you identify the signs of an abusive person? First of all, I need people to understand that people are experiencing abuse, but they don't even know that they are being abused. Because even me, it was after I sat down and I did a re-evaluation. I realized this person is not treating me like a human being should be treated. Because even when he would offend me, I would apologize. And that's not okay.
Yeah, that is not
I counted the number of times I had apologized in the relationship. He had apologized to me only twice. 1, 2 times. And that doesn't mean that when he would offend me and I would take offense, he would take offense too because I've taken offense. That's manipulative.
Yeah, that's very, very manipulative.
That's manipulative. Then he would go silent for days. Then I'm trying to reach out.
Gaslighting.
Yes.
My goodness.
And I'm like, but I'm the. Anyway, I'm thinking, you're not the
I'm the victim. You're the instigator.
Yes, you're not the victim. But see, the funny thing is, this person has mastered abuse so much that you would just find yourself reaching out. You get. And for me, I always saw the relationship over the conflicts. I'll tell myself, is this important? Is it really going to, like, does it make the relationship better, or are we still stuck in the same place at the end of the day? And for me, at the end of the day, I just wanted it to work. And whatever it took to make it work, because as much as love is not meant to be in you have to put in some work.
Effort, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what you thought.
Yeah, that's what I thought anyway. But it was until I saw my therapist and she told me, honey, if you're working hard,
get out of here. Get out.
leave before it's too late.
Yeah.
And like I'm trying to look for all the things that I haven't seen.
The kind of emotions that you would bank on to keep you there. Like,
to keep me
what
there.
are the things that you thought are worth staying for in that situation?
Oh yeah, by the way, the thing is, this person is not a bad person. And I need you guys to understand that he wasn't a bad person. Very, very good at providing emotional support. And in that season of my life, I needed emotional support. Like, he'd be there. I can say that he was there for me when I needed someone to be there for me. It's just that it's when you weigh abuse and emotional support, it like the abuse outweighs the emotional support. But also, towards the end of the relationship, I looked back and I'm like, I've invested so much time. Yeah, it's a very long time.
A very, very long time.
As in, if you look at yourself where you were last year this time and
where you are now,
completely different people. So like I would think about all the time I've wasted, all the money, all the emotions, all the effort. But what would scare me the most was how people would view me after having a failed relationship. And in my head, I'm thinking, and at the time I broke up with him, I think I was 23. I'm like, nobody cares.
No, honestly. Girl, we are all just like this.
Like,
nobody gives a damn.
Gives a rat's. I hope the show says that. But like, I'm like, no one cares. And I'm thinking, my friends are much happier when I'm alive than me staying in a relationship where someone is going to kill me. Because it's after I left the relationship, and it's after when he started shouting at me repeatedly, that's when I was like, I need to leave this place. Because if someone can shout at you, someone can hit you.
Yeah. The two are not so different.
Then the two are not so different. If someone can shout at you, like they can hit you. And the second thing is, he was so good at covering his tracks. It's difficult for you to prove to somebody else that this person has abused you if they're doing it over phone call. Whenever he would be shouting, he wouldn't send a voice note. He would call. Whenever he'd be saying very mean things, he wasn't much of a caller. Neither am I. I don't like phone calls. But whenever he'd want to say really mean things, that's something you can type. He would rather call so that it's off the record, so that I can be like, oh, Pamela, see what this person has said to me. And I think for me, in this whole process, two things really broke me. But I'll first talk about what redeemed me from this relationship. There is a time I was at home, and I had stayed home that day. And my dad had not seen me the night before. He came back and I was sleeping. So in the morning, he finds me and he was so excited to see me. Extremely elated. And I was like, you see that? That's not something I'm experiencing in my relationship. When I would hang out with my friends, I would feel so free, liberated. I would feel like I can be myself unapologetically. Yes, I can express myself. And that's something I never experienced in my relationship. I was always walking with eggshells because 1 minute you're laughing, the next minute the person is pissed. Let's go home. What? And you're like, like
What happened?
Yeah,
Like, what
like
have I
take
done?
it easy. No, honestly, but also take it easy. Like everything doesn't have to end up in a whole 3 days of you not talking to me. Like sometimes we can just. And then there is a time we had gone out, and I had decided to. He was the providing type. I don't want to say him, but he used to make me pay for dates. What? Never, never.
One of the few.
Yes, one of
Anyway.
the few. Yes, never. But like there was a time we had gone out, and I was like, I had gone to somebody. I was like, you know what? Let me take my boyfriend out, my ex-boyfriend out. Emphasis on the ex. My ex.
In case you didn't get the memo.
Emphasis on my ex-boyfriend out. I was like, let me take him out. Let's have a good time. And I just didn't appreciate the fact that this person was seeing it as though I was trying to undermine their authority in their relationship. So that was the final nail in the coffin. And that's when I realized this person has an inferiority complex. So to sum everything up, what were we going through? This person has an inferiority complex, and I am a very confident person. You get?
So you're like a threat.
Exactly.
Oh dear.
So
that's unhealthy.
he would use every opportunity he gets to lower my self-esteem. I reached a point and my self-esteem was actually lower. It's just that I'm so confident that even when it lowered, it wasn't below the bare minimum of the normal person. But there are certain things about me that changed. All of a sudden I didn't want to show up in public. I didn't want to post myself anymore. Not that I do it now. I'm not a fan of pictures. But like right now, I feel free to do whatever I want to do.
Yeah, whether you wanted to or not.
Yeah, whether I wanted to or not,
Yeah.
I just feel like I'm free to do it. And I felt like maybe I was like, where is the inferiority complex coming from? Because it's not like as if it was coming from a poor family. It's coming from a well-to-do family, surrounded by very wonderful friends, very wonderful siblings. He had a good job. Life was
Everything
okay.
was okay.
Yes. But then I realized that this is something that is stemming from home. I don't know where, I don't know what parts, and quite frankly speaking, I couldn't care less. But what am I doing now? I'm doing my best to make sure that everybody who interacts with him actively is aware of the kind of person that he is. Because had I known better, I
You
wouldn't
don't
be
have
here
found yourself in that situation.
on the Ohnestly podcast. Sharing my story.
I'm dying. Don't make me thank the man, please.
and for me, it's really amazing how healing works, because in the early stages, I just couldn't imagine how I would get over something like that. But you see, that day comes and you don't feel anything. No pain, no anger. Like recently, I got my spark back. Like life is good. And if there is anything I ever regret doing, I don't think I will ever regret walking out of that relationship.
Well, there's no way you can.
Yeah. And for me, while I was there, I kept telling my friends that it felt like Daniel in the lion's den. I was around someone who had been known to beat his girlfriends, and he did not hit me.
Yet.
But you see, luckily for me, I was able to walk away before he did.
Got there.
Yeah. And I just want to thank God for that. I want to thank God for the fact that I was surrounded by community. Like I knew what love was. So when I wasn't experiencing it,
You could tell.
Yes, I started to raise an eyebrow, and I'm like,
something is up.
Yeah, something is up.
Something is missing.
And I think for me, what it taught me also is that our society, even us as women, we enable abusive behavior. Your friend is going to come to you and they tell you, so and so did this and this to me. I mean, like, are you sure? Overreactions. Do you know how much it takes for somebody to embarrass themselves and come and tell
and
you
be
that,
vulnerable with you?
So, what do I pick from this lesson? Let's learn to extend grace. Also, we experience people differently, and we
True.
should stop invalidating other people's
Experiences.
experiences. Just because for you that's not how you experienced a person does not mean the other version is not true. Instead of asking me, are you sure? Tell me, oh my god, I'm sorry that happened to you.
How can I help?
How can I help?
Yeah.
And the other thing is, I found out that this person actually used to hit his girlfriend after I left the relationship. And it was a friend of mine who was telling me, and I was telling her the whole story, how he used to be shouting at me and things like that. She's like, oh, by the way, that guy, everyone knows him. He's a woman beater. He beats women. I was like, then I asked her, so when did you find out this information? And she told me, I think like 2 years ago. I'm like,
So you saw me.
yeah, wasting my time.
Did you think that
Do you
I
think
was
I was
like
going to change him up?
doing charity?
Yeah, like if you have a friend and you really value your friends and your friendships, they would you give them the information. What they do with that information is not your responsibility.
Yeah. But in the very least.
Yes, at least let them know. Because I felt so betrayed. I was like, you watched me go through whatever I was going through. But I was a clown.
And you knew.
And you knew. And you just couldn't say, hey, you know what? I would have dealt with the information the way I wanted to deal with it.
Yeah.
But I felt like I was owed that much because 2 years ago, by the time she told me was before the relationship started, I could have weighed my options and be like,
from what I've had,
yeah, I don't think this is right for me. So, really, that's it. But on a much brighter note, men are good people. Just find another one.
what one man can't do, another man will.
Yeah, will. So, like, for me, I just like the fact that it didn't take away from me so much my belief in good men and good people. Just because I had one bad experience does not define all my experiences, all my life
That you'll ever have,
experiences that I will ever have. And then also, it doesn't in any way mean that men are bad people or men are trash or things like that. However, the thing is, I had a very strong and reinforced support system. Yeah.
In
like,
your friends, in your family,
everywhere. Like I've been surrounded by so much love that I know what love is. So whenever I don't experience it, I
you
can
can tell.
Yeah. But like also it helps to get the help you need. If you need to go for therapy, please go for therapy. Like do whatever it takes. Yes, that person stole that part away from you, but it makes you stronger. And in that season of my life, there is a podcast of Khloe Kardashian I watched, and she was like, because Khloe Kardashian has really gone through it.
Most.
Exactly. And I think it was amazing how she said things like she's like, I'm not giving up on love. I'm not giving up on relationships, and I'm not the kind of person who is going to have my child tell me, "Oh, I'd like to get married," and I'm like, "Oh well, good luck." I'm like, no. Marriage is a wonderful thing. But then she said something. She was like, "The thing is, I have forgiven and I have let go, but I carry some of it around with me just to remind me,
in case you find,
just to remind me. And this experience in my life made me more assertive. It made me more aware of boundaries with people. Before I was a recovered people pleaser, serious work in progress, but the amount of progress that I have made, it's okay to be a nice person, but it's even better to be a nice person with boundaries.
with boundaries,
Yes.
especially as a woman.
Exactly, because people take you for granted. And this is what I want to say, and I had forgotten it. Just because you're a good person does not exempt you from being in an abusive relationship.
True, it can happen to anybody.
Yes, it can happen to anybody, anyone. Because there are times I'd be like, but how did I not know? Like, I'm too woke for this. No, you're not.
Beating yourself down.
Exactly.
No, like a regular reason.
Exactly. It's not you. You're not the problem.
You're not the problem.
The other person is the problem. And it's not like I say people walk around with abuser on their forehead.
Yeah.
They really don't. But it also made me appreciate how women stay in abusive marriages. because someone is thinking, okay, are people going to see me? I've been married to this person for 5 years. But the earlier you leave,
the
better. Trust me,
the better.
the
And there's
better.
better out there.
I know.
Yeah, and it's dark.
And you know, the thing is, it gave me so much peace. Healing from it gave me so much peace. That right now, I'm in a season of my life whereby I told God, if your will for me is to get married, so be it. But if it's not,
Then so be
it. Like,
yeah.
my whole identity and my whole reason for living should not be around the fact that I'm in a permanent relationship with someone. No, there are so many things I'm contributing to the world. I'm a brilliant person. I have so much to offer. I have so much love surrounding me. I have friends. I have family. I have so much to live for. And in that season of my life, I never really used to see that. But now, oh my goodness, this new leap of I have on life, I feel like, to be honest, I feel like this is something that I needed to go through.
Yeah, I was about to say
Yeah,
that.
like, difficult.
Like, had you not?
Yes, had I not, I wouldn't be this version of myself. Would I wish it on anyone?
No.
But am I glad I went through it? Yes,
Yeah,
I am.
definitely.
I actually am, definitely, because now I see life from a whole different perspective. Like, God has been so good to me, and I just can't wait to see what the future holds. Yeah, and I'm definitely positive.
Thank you so much, Angela. I think as you were sharing your story, I kept on thinking in my head, like, it's important when you go through situations that are out of the ordinary, especially negatively in that sense, to have a positive outlook on the situation, because very easily you may let that be a defining moment. It becomes your turning point. Like, ever since this human being, I have hate, like, I have anger towards this gender. I hate them. And sometimes I genuinely feel like the propaganda against men, saying men are trash or men are useless or whatever the term that people use, is pent up anger that people have not yet released. And I do not judge you, whoever you might be listening to this podcast. I do not judge you. I empathize with you.
And I understand,
but I do feel, I understand you, honestly, but it's robbing you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's robbing you of a better experience.
Yeah.
Even experience with your siblings, with your brothers, with your father. Like, for me, whenever, actually, when I was going through it, I was at my healthiest. I was thriving, because I kept telling myself, I can't let this setback bring me down.
Exactly.
I was at my healthiest. Whenever I'd be working out, I'd be like, no, I need to exercise so that I look good, so that I look better than that situation that I was in. I made sure to do all my exams really, really quickly, because for me, it was a way of paying myself back for all the time that I wasted and invested into a person. And I really dislike the fact that I even call it wasting time. I give someone the benefit of the doubt. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
What I did not have control over is how they treated that trust that I gave them.
Yeah.
And it's okay. It's okay. It doesn't mean that I should now stop trusting everybody and what and what. Of course, you need to take your time, and it takes a lot of time
and effort
and intentionality.
Yeah.
And also, it helps to talk about it as much as possible. Talk about it 5, 10, 20.
Like, call every friend.
Retell them
over and
over again.
As many times as you need to.
Yes. And then also, it showed me that when you're having a relationship, at least certain people should know. Because I was in my relationship, and it's just a few people who knew. So this person could have killed me, and then people are like, oh, she had a boyfriend. I'm not saying.
True.
I'm not saying like post your man on every, but at least the people who matter to you should know.
Should be aware.
Exactly. Because also sometimes they're able to do a background check on your behalf, because for you now you're the love is blind.
Deep
at night. You feel like Feeder cook. Maybe at home feeder.
Don't do it. Touch your color.
Trust me, to feed a cold.
Yeah, enter
So-
love with your eyes open.
Exactly. Yeah. And finally,
Finally.
someone said that as we grow older, we do not experience emotions as intensely as we used to. Because there is a way the brain now conditions itself so that it can help you heal, and it has trigger warnings. Like the moment you say something like trigger warning, you know, the first time someone maybe hit on you, and then now, right now these days you can get irritated.
Yeah, you're like, no, please.
like
Moving on.
yeah. But for me, my prayer is to feel the way I used to feel before, to be as excited, because as much as I have done so much to heal, it doesn't excite me anymore because I know how bad it can get. I know how good it can be, and I also know how bad it can be. So I'm there. And for me, I would rather enter into a relationship logically than based off of my feelings as a result of that.
Yeah.
So I just hope that one day I go back to that childlike innocence where everything excites me. Someone texting me back and I get excited and I rush to respond.
Yeah.
Right now,
You're like, yeah. I'm good at job that pays me.
yeah, that's as good as it gets.
Yeah.
Like of course, like I said, at the back of you, you carry it around with you, just so you can remember.
Yeah,
so
because as soon as you forget, it comes back in a new font, the same lesson regenerates itself until you didn't learn it the
I
first time.
understand. So so I'm just more careful. I know people say that just because you're so picky doesn't mean you end up with a good person, but I believe I'll end up with a good person.
Yeah, actually, the pickier the better.
Yeah, the pickier the better. And also, I'm honestly not in a rush. What I went through, it's okay.
You can rest that. I'll get back to you when I want. It's not by
In
force.
God's perfect timing, it
Please.
is okay. It is well. It is fine. Because me ending up with some random person that I'm not supposed to be with, I would rather, because as like there was a time, I don't know, I was talking to someone and I was like, I know I may be going through a lot, but at least I don't have to be there thinking about the fact that I texted someone good morning and they haven't responded till
Bro,
like
honestly, someone hasn't asked me how can I help,
yeah.
or like, I don't know, how has your day been? Hasn't replied to my good night of 2
I know
days
it's-
ago. Like, I may be going through a lot, but that one is not my battle.
99 problems and that is not
It's not one of them.
Like,
Happily.
like at least that's not a battle I have to fight. Like,
Yeah.
I have peace of mind.
Yeah.
And I trust that even when I get into a relationship, I'll still have that peace of mind.
Definitely. And you know, when you carry, like you said, when you carry with you, then you're able to know exactly what you want and what you don't.
Exactly.
That
Like you
means
can,
it's your filter
it's
faster.
the first time, like you be like, I swear.
No.
Can't even maintain that conversation.
Moving on.
But
Swiftly.
let's wait each other's time. Yeah. So that's my experience, really.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Angela, for sharing your honest experience. And to all those who have been listening to this episode, thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any thoughts you'd like to share, you can drop into the comments or reach out to me on my socials. Or if you have a story of yours that you want to also share on the very same platform, you could fill in the form. Yeah. See you guys in the next episode. Bye.